what it says on the screen. I'm hoping that I get a better sound this time. Let's see, live chats, turning on the live chat so I can see any live chats. There it is. All right, hello, hello, and hello again. Thank you very much for taking just a minute of your time to watch a Christian painter's YouTube video. I am very proud to tell you that I have over 3,000 subscribers. 3,100 subscribers. They let us know that. So we're over 3,100. So thank you very, very, very much to each and every one of you. This YouTube channel is much bigger than what I ever expected it to be. My number one motive still is just being in a format where my customers can find me. I've been painting houses all my life, and I've painted for thousands of people. And I like those people who I have painted for to be able to find me easily. So I think making videos and publishing them of the jobs makes it a lot easier for the customer to come back and find you 3 years or 5 years or 10 years later, because we've been online now for 10 years. This YouTube channel started back in 2012, I believe, maybe 2010, so maybe 14 years. Either way, it's a long time, and we have over 3,100 subscribers, and that is freaking amazing. How about all these beautiful colors? Isn't that amazing? My job is a lot of fun. It's a job at the end of the day. I play music, so I do a lot of other things for fun. But I just happen to be an artist. These are artist hands, so my business is built on artistry, true house painting, a professional trade, and also colors. I know colors better than anyone else that I know. So my invitation to you this evening is, if you need help with colors, or anyone you know has already made the decision to paint their house. I'm not making videos for people who are thinking about painting their homes or thinking about painting their homes themselves. If my videos help those people, which they do, I know they do, because people comment and thank me for making the videos all over the world, all over the United States. It's very honoring. And so I know that they help a lot of people. And for that purpose, and for the purpose of just taking advantage of the opportunity that I have here with the YouTube, YouTube's an amazing thing. Right now, it's in everyone's living room. One of the challenges about doing what I do is that, what I'm doing here live is that nobody's perfect, none of us. So you open yourself up to being picked apart by people who just love to pick people apart and have nothing better to do somehow. But I've never let those people stop me from doing, or myself. I've never let myself stop myself from trying my best. Each and every day, each and every job, I do my absolute best. And I usually, most often, perform at an excellent level, as many, many, many of my, like I said, thousands of customers all over Dallas-Fort Worth in 22 years. But certainly in Arlington, where I'm from, and Mansfield and surrounding, like Burleson and Alvarado, I've done a ton of business in those areas over the years, and I'm proud to say that. In South Fort Worth, this is my business flyer here. Here we go, Christian Painters. So there's my phone number. If you need professional painting advice, just call that number, 817-473-0310, or better, send a text, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. I have a service where I'm offering for $10 for 10 minutes. I will share a lifetime of professional, expert painting advice, where I promise, I'm absolutely certain that I can save you money, time, and headache. If you've already made up your mind that you need to hire a professional painter. There's always two types of people in the world. In this context, the two types of people are people who have already determined that they have a need to hire a professional painter. Believe it or not, there's enough people out there that I consider my customers or my prospective customers that see the value and see their need to hire a professional painter. Well, that's where I come in. I'm a professional painter. Until then, if you just have questions because you're doing it yourself, those are just, it's favorable things. I'm happy, especially if you leave a comment on my videos. I comment to every person who ever comments on my videos, no matter where you're from, no matter what your questions are. My comment may not always be what you expect it to be, because I do get negative comments all the time, people selling products and all kinds of things. And so I speak openly and honestly with them. I don't have much of a filter. I do try to be considerate always, but, I'm really just naturally considerate. So, I know the difference between people who have an honest question and would appreciate a reasonable answer, and people who are just here to stir up trouble because it's part of what they do. And don't ask me why. I'm not a psychologist. I do not know why half of the people in the world are that way. But even YouTube recognizes it. So it's not just me squawking here. As a YouTube content provider, I have taken hours and hours and hours of YouTube courses. They have a content provider course that you are privileged to and expected. It's basically videos, and it's people who provide content, so YouTube content providers answering questions and things. And then at the end of the video, YouTube will provide a questionnaire. Like it's just usually a multiple choice, be three questions or a question with three answers, and you pick the answer. And I think mostly they're trying to just make sure that you're actually watching the video, and that's all. So, but you still spend hours watching those things and you learn a lot. And one of the things that YouTube talks about a lot, and all the content providers talk to you on a personal level about as another content provider, is all the negativity. It's just the way that it is. They just tell you straight up, all the negativity is going to be there. That's part of the process. Just learn how to appreciate the negativity. So that's how bad, or that's how realistic negativity and negative people are in the world. Because here on social media and on YouTube, you just have to know going in that you're going to have people that intentionally try to pick you apart. And some people, can. I'm not perfect. So, that's kind of the difference between family and friends, is that true family will always find your value, find your good, find your worth, and appreciate and enjoy that with you. And that's part of what your time together is and your relationship is. Whereas most everyone else, they spend more time looking at your bad qualities, your shortcomings, the things that you don't do right, the things that don't make sense to them from their perspective in life. And it's their right and their privilege to do that, but still those people do exist, and that's how they kind of exist in the world, is like as, critics and, what you call backseat driver critics, armchair quarterback critics, people that like to critique but have never done the work. People that like to critique but have never actually experienced the process of doing the work that they're critiquing. So moving right along, I want to thank every one of my subscribers. I have over 3 million views on this YouTube channel. So I have over 1,700 YouTube videos now. That's another milestone. I've been at 1,600 for a couple of years. So hope to be making a lot more videos and get up to 1,800 this year for sure. Because I know it took me a couple of years to get just from 16 to 17. So we're officially at 1,700 YouTube videos. Somebody somewhere in the world is always watching one of my Christian Painters YouTube videos. And I have over 3 million video views, which is just humbling. It's kind of crazy to think about because honestly, I knew I was making a good decision. I've always been ahead of the curve. Before I started this YouTube channel, which is unprecedented, let's go ahead and state that right now. If there is another YouTube channel that has 1,700 videos of on-the-job, instructional, informational, entertaining, professional, on-the-job videos. That's what, not some guy sitting around in a studio. I still don't think you'll find a person sitting around in their home studio like, see, this looks really beautiful. I've got a home studio here, right? But turn around, look behind you. I'm just in my bedroom. That's my guitar. Those are my lyrics on my wall. So, it's just an honor, really. That's the best way I know how to put it at this point, is that it's an honor. And I'm gonna click on my messages here again. Live chat. Hello, live chat. How are you? You know, the real reason I'm doing this is because I scheduled a video at 9 o'clock today, and I had all kinds of audio issues with it. I was not at all expecting those kind of audio issues. Now, I am on my iPhone, so this is being videotaped or whatever and broadcast through my iPhone. And I absolutely have to have a computer with a monitor to do the things that I'm going to be doing here with this Christian Painters YouTube channel and the Facebook page and our Instagram. All three of them will be combined in numerous regular live video, social media events. That is the future. But YouTube is a number one. The reason why YouTube is a number one is because it's on your television in your living room. Facebook is not, Twitter's not, Instagram is not. It's YouTube. YouTube is on your television in your living room if you have Roku TV today. I'm so behind on technology, I fail to be able to explain it or talk about it properly. But I know this, that YouTube is on your television in your living room. I've already seen the future by watching other video podcasts, and the future is obvious to me. It's interactive television. Within probably a couple of years, but it won't take long, most people will be watching television in their living room while having their iPad or their iPhone or their cell phone, a second computer, or maybe it'll be a part of your television in the future. Either way, I'm sure it already is if you go down to some of these high-tech stores, right? You already know. I'm behind the curve, but I still have a vision to see way past the curve, even though I don't know all the current technology. And the curve is real simple, is that the average person watching a NFL football game on Sunday will also be interacting live with a second device, their cell phone, an iPad, etc., and be able to go, oh, wow, stop that quarterback, just don't let them get a touchdown. And believe it or not, there will be a way that you can actually interact live with other people and also with, say, Domino's. Yeah, with Domino's. Domino's will be right there going, yeah, stop that quarterback, go Cowboys. Oh, by the way, are you ready for your pizza? Or thank you for ordering your pizza, because that's really how it's going to work. You're going to turn on your TV and order your pizza and your beer, and it's all going to show up in 15 minutes, and the game's going to kick off, and boom, off you go, talking to everybody, interacting live, and it's going to just take entertainment to a whole different level. And then think of this, if they add Oculus technology to live, and that's probably what's going to happen. Has anyone ever checked out the Oculus technology? I need to make some 360 videos for that purpose. Oculus technology, it's a visor or a helmet that you put on, and you see video, you see film, whatever it is. My personal experience is Metallica. I realized after putting this helmet on and seeing the space and how it worked, you know, you have to set it up. I went, okay, of all the things, let me just go watch some live music, and Metallica was there. And so I was pretty much on the drum riser for Lars Ulrich on his drum riser, and Metallica was playing in the round, and I could look completely around. I could just turn around physically, and as I turned around physically, I could see James Hetfield playing behind me and Lars Ulrich playing next to me. And then I'd turn around and it would be, you know, the bass player or Kirk Hammett playing in front of me, and James, you know, so it put you right in the center of the show, on the middle of the stage. It was amazing. I've never experienced anything like it before. And it would definitely take something like this technology of house painting to a whole new level also, because you could walk through homes. Let's say it's a home you're wanting to buy, and it's pretty much already that way with the drones and the cameras where they can do the 360 angles and everything. But with Oculus technology, they wouldn't have to. It would just be you walking in and looking around. And you might be able to buy a soda and a pizza there before long too. So that's my point. All I know is that at the beginning of all that is where we are now, and I'm at least able to see and take advantage of the opportunity. So back to what I was saying is that if there is another YouTube channel where you have 1,700 YouTube videos, please reach out to me and let me know, because I don't think that exists anywhere in the world. And it's kind of crazy to admit this, but I used to have a website. Anybody who's followed Christian painters for 20 years will remember I used to have an extensive website. I had so many pictures, like thousands and thousands and thousands. I didn't make videos back then, so I took tons of before pictures, tons of after pictures, and you know, just documented everything. So I had thousands of pictures on my website, and I couldn't find another painter. And I used to tell my customers that this back then, just like I do about YouTube now, is if you can find another house painter anywhere in the world who has the thousands of pictures of their jobs on their website, you know, I don't think that exists, and I never found them. So I don't think that business or that website ever existed to the capacity that mine did. I let it go in the downsizing of 2008. My children were grown, and I was ready for my little red Corvette moment, which was music. I taught myself music. I know how to play music now, and I can write songs and all that stuff. So that's what was going on in my world at the time, at 2008, because again, I'm a visionary, and I could see the curve. I knew this long term that we've experienced from 2008 to now 2022 was going to be rough. I knew it would. I just knew that it would. I've had personal things happen in my life that I couldn't know, which is that my daughter died. My daughter died just prior to the pandemic in December of 2019. And she's not the only one. Like, some of my closest friends have died. My mom died in November of 2019. It's just been crazy how my personal life has been affected by people, you know, that's just out of my control. Nothing that I did or anyone, it's just things that happen. So I take care of my grandson now. So I need this business today like I didn't need it 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I'm thinking retirement. I'm learning music. I'm recording music. I'm performing live 10 years ago. And today I need this business. And it's not just because gas prices are high. No, it's because I love my grandson. I've been taking care of my grandson for over 2 years, about over 2.5 years now, about 2 years and 7 months. He was 6 months old when my daughter passed away. So I've had him since he was 6 months old. And I split time, or me and my ex-wife, the mother of my daughter, the grandmother of my grandson, she keeps him half the time and I keep him half the time. So that means I have to keep a place, it's cost a lot of money. And so here I am, and have been. I've been doing a lot of work for a lot of people, and thank you to each and every one of my customers, because I need it. I need the business, and for real reasons. Yes, I do want to make more music, but that's all I'm doing. I'm not, I don't have a fishing boat. I don't have anything. I don't have a bowling ball. I don't bowl on a team. I don't bowl on a league. I don't have golf clubs. I don't golf with the guys. I used to. Tell you a quick fun story. Nobody's paying attention. I'm going to delete this video anyway, but I'll tell you a quick fun story. Is that the Mansfield Country Club, there for a few years, probably 5, 6 years. I absolutely backdoored it. All right, looks like I got a comment. I thought if I ran on long enough, someone might say something. I've got a, okay, let me get rid of that and pop that up and go there and see, there it is. God bless you, brother. I'm praying that the Lord strengthens you and your business. Well, thank you. Hey, anything that you or anyone wants to do, all your thoughts are priceless to me. Yeah, I think that the most that you can really hope or expect from others is that they're thinking well of you and hoping the best for you. So since someone is watching and paying attention, I'll change the tone a little bit, because this isn't a doom and gloom. It's not, oh my God, I need your business so bad. I do, but no, I got this under control. That's part of what this is, of going live here, is I'm going to be going live regularly. It'll be sporadic for a while, and it will improve, because I will improve my studio and get a computer with a monitor and everything. And I will, from there, improve the show. I will have on guests, and the idea is just a Q&A, just an interactive Q&A, so that people can ask me questions about house painting. And I know you're out there, and you're all over the country and all over the world. So I'm thrilled to be able to take advantage of this technology to share my lifetime of expert advice with you for free here live, but enjoy the process also. Again, it's not the only thing in the world that I have to do. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but I did choose to paint houses for a reason, and it's because I do enjoy it. I enjoy painting. I'm an artist, and so that's how I ultimately got into this business, was through faux finishes. I painted my first house in June of 1999. And I knew I was painting houses. I wasn't starting a faux finish business. But within a year, I had seen faux finishes featured in, I think, just a brochure at Home Depot. And I said, oh, I do that stuff all the time already. I can do that on the walls. And so I was doing a big house over in northeast Carrollton. There's a pocket of Carrollton there, and it's high tone. And so I offered to do a faux finish in the bedroom for the customer that we were painting their whole house over there at the time. And I offered to do it for 50% off. So I think he paid me $100 to do it, honestly. But it set my course for the next 10 years, because within the next 2 days of me completing the faux finish and then also completing the job over the next 2 days, his neighbors, my customers' employees, he was the president of the company that he worked for, so a lot of people came into that home and said, oh, I have to have that in my home. How much? And it was a complete change of tone from what I was used to and was expecting, which is, hey, we're painting our house and have some sheetrock repairs. We need to do some texture. We're taking estimates. which is considerate. I mean, that's the way that it works. That's what you do. You take a couple or a few estimates respectfully. I think that you should always research the companies you're contacting. Don't just get a phone number and call them. Just research a little bit. Make sure you're contacting someone who is painting houses currently and professionally, and etc. I'll talk about that more later, just to stay on track. I have notepads. Does anybody have a notepad? I've been making these notepads, B&B Printing right here in Mansfield, Texas, for anybody who needs printing. If they're not already doing your printing, because B&B Printing absolutely does the majority of the printing for everybody in Mansfield surrounding areas. And they also do a ton of printing for bands and music related people. So everybody knows who B&B Printing is. These are my notepads. I've had these for 20 years. If anybody has one of those, that's pretty cool. From time to time, I have things like magnets and stuff, flyers and donut shops and stuff. But one of the cool things that I have is at Prespa's Pizza. I hadn't been in there in years because I hadn't been in the area and had money. But with my grandson, he loves pizza. I can get a cheap, good pizza there. It's Prespa's here off of Sublet and 287. They have one of my Christian Painters magnets right there on the cash register. Been there for about 20 years. No kidding, about 20 years my magnet's been on that cash register there at Prespa's Pizza. So thank you very much, Prespa's Pizzas. If you need a pizza, that's the place to go. Absolutely. The best pizza around. Everybody knows if you're around here. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. And that's what this is about. I've always networked. I've always with other businesses, with my customers to help them with other businesses. And I've helped a lot of people. I've sent more business to other local businesses in Mansfield and Arlington and Burleson and Dallas-Fort Worth than anybody I know. And that's kind of one of my things. I don't have a choice but to measure things that way. Like I'm really good with colors. I don't know anyone else that's better with colors than I am. I meet people with degrees all the time. And to me, it's just like having fun because I'm highly intelligent and I think real fast and talk real fast. And I love interaction, with other good people. And so when I meet someone who's an interior decorator or has a degree, et cetera, I know the questions to ask, to find out what they really know or to spur them on to talk about it, things like that. And so I'm telling you, I don't know anyone that knows colors better than I do. If you know colors, leave a comment. Love to talk to you about colors. But that's part of what you get from me. If you contact me and you need help with colors, I can get you into the colors that you need so quick. $10 is what I charge for 10 minutes. And I can guarantee you, I can explain to you exactly what I need. You can show me on your phone with FaceTime, or just send me a video or send me pictures, and I can get you your color options quick. And they'll be the best. Like, I don't care if you're in California or if you're in Texas. The color selections that I give you, you can go to any store and go, well, this is the color selections that were recommended. Here's the video, the pictures, the tile, here's what the countertops, here's the stain color. Can you recommend better colors? And they're always going to say no. I don't know who you're working with, but that person knows colors. So nope, can't find better colors than those. So that's all I do. I just am that confident that I can recommend the best colors for your home quickly, always. So not only colors, I can recommend the best things to look out for. Like I have checklists. I have an exterior house painting checklist. If you go to my Facebook page, it's over there, and it's a checklist. I can email it to you. I email it to my customers. I text it to my customers. But it's a checklist, and it's what you should always look for, whether you're hiring Christian painters or hiring anyone else. You should always look for someone who power washes properly. If you hear a house painter fire up the power washer and turn it off 30 minutes later, they probably are not power washing properly. And you have to know that. How do you know that? I mean, how many times have you hired someone to paint your house? You don't know that. You just heard them turn on the power washer. And believe it or not, it sucks. I don't mind telling you, no filter here. It sucks to have to tell you that that's how this world works and that's how people are in business. But that's how they are. They don't actually power wash your house. They just run the power washer a little bit and hit a couple of areas to make you happy and you feel like, okay, the house got cleaned. Well, no, you have to actually hit every area of the house that you're painting. That's what power washing is. If you're painting a home, every area of the house that you're painting has to be hit with water to clean off all the loose dirt, loose dust, any mold that's, built up at all, or that kind of, it's hard to call it mold. You're just outside. It's the elements. It's the same thing that grows on trees, the moss, things that people just don't think about is that there is moisture on everything every morning. Every morning, your entire house has moisture on it. There's dust in the air every day blowing around. So it's just a combination of all those kind of things. So for all the reasons, a home actually has to be power washed. And if you're going to take the time to power wash it properly, you really need to take the time to wash the dirt down and wash it away to some extent. One of the reasons people don't wash houses because they don't want to create a mess and have to clean it up. I'm not kidding you. So if you ever watch any of my videos or if I've ever painted your house, you already know I spend, usually half of the day. Some homes I can get them done in a couple of hours. But the last exterior I painted, I literally spent over 4 hours. I was there for probably 5 hours just power washing the house. But it was extensive. So usually I can get them in, 2 or 3 hours. And that includes washing off the brick where it's dirty, where I've washed paint down onto the brick and then washing it away from the house when it's possible. I don't wash patios, I don't wash porches, I don't wash sidewalks or driveways. I do for an extra charge, but I at least wash the stuff off. So then from there, that checklist would also involve number one is all the rough areas on your home. That's what you need to do before you hire a painter, before you talk to a painter. You need to look at your home. Take a note with you, take a pen and a notepad. The areas you're looking for, this is very important, are where the wood meets the roof line. So you have an eave that comes down like this and the roof comes like this. So where that eave meets that roof line, that's where you're gonna have the most wear and tear because of the heat that comes off of the shingles, because of the additional moisture that builds up there and splashes there, runs through there as rain runoff, all those things. Those are always your first areas to rot, or any areas where the wood line meets the roof line. So I'm not gonna go on and be extensive with my exterior checklist. I'm giving you that one example. What you will see me do with my business and what everyone has always seen me do, and you can see in all of my videos, is we pay extra attention to those areas. That's what you're hiring me for. You're not hiring me just to put paint on the house. You're hiring me to take the areas that are not going to retain the paint as well and preparing them to retain the paint as well as possible. So that when I clean a surface like that, prime it, pull out the loose caulking, recaulk, and then double coat it. I always put 2 coats of paint on all of those areas. So all those areas that get primer, because they're wore like that, always get 2 coats of paint. And with that process, I know personally that that paint is going to look good on the whole house, not just the majority of it, but even all the way down to that bad area where the roof line meets the fascia. And it's all gonna look good consistently for 15 years. And one thing I can absolutely guarantee every person that I've ever painted any house is that when the finish that I put on your home with that finish, it will never look as bad as it did when I got to it. Never. It'll never get like that. Whatever the condition of your home is now, before you hire me, because of my treatments and painting a home professionally, it'll never look like that ever again. So it'll take 15 years just for the paint to start to fade. If you have any problem areas like water runoff, water buildup, if there's something extensive like that, that's not what I'm referring to. But under normal house conditions of, rain, sunshine, heat, cold, 15 years, guaranteed. I can give you a paint job that looks good for 15 years. So that means that paint's not even wearing until after 15 years. So at 20 years, maybe your bad spots are bad. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because they're in bad areas where there's high heat and high water buildup, etc. But it's not going to be 10 years. It's not going to be 15. It might start in 15. In 20, you would see those areas. All right. Well, so that means in 20 years, it's still not as bad as it was when I got to it. So you're going to have to wait like 25 to 30 years, somewhere in there, for it to be even close to being in the same condition it was before I painted it. 25 or 30 years. If you're waiting 25 or 30 years, then, the apocalypse has happened. You should paint your home every 15 years. That's my professional advice. You should hire a professional that can paint it properly to last and look good for 15 years. And then that same painter or another should not have to charge as much, because you don't need all the prep work yet. So before it gets out of hand and you got to do all the prep work, which means pull out the loose caulking, all the primers, all of that, just get out there and clean it up, paint it properly, put your 2 coats in all your rough areas, and you're good to go for another 15 years. And that's how you should look at painting your home. And there's no better way. Even I can argue vinyl siding. You're going to have to spend so much money to get a vinyl siding that's high enough quality to where you don't have to do anything with it for 20 years. No, this is Texas. I'm talking about in Texas with Texas sun. Now, if you have enough trees or buildings, something shading that siding, that's different. But normal wear and tear on normal house siding, if I charge you $3,000 to paint your house today and it lasts 15 years and the economy doesn't go crazy, and I could actually paint your house for $3,000 again in 15 years. So that's $6,000. So let's say the economy changed, so I had to charge more. So I'm charging $4,000 in 15 years. So now you got $7,000 invested. Well, $7,000 won't get you cheap siding. Barely. You just need to think things through. I'm not trying to sell you painting because I want to sell ice to an Eskimo or anything. And what's funny is I'm going to delete this video. I'm actually tired and I'm just rambling on because I'm tired. I didn't intend to talk this long. I wanted to show you these awesome Kelly Moore colors. If anybody needs help, I am a professional with all Sherwin-Williams and Kelly Moore colors. And you know that because one of my geniuses with this channel was to probably 10 years ago or something, I started naming all of my videos after the colors. So every popular Sherwin-Williams color, I wished I could say that about Kelly Moore. I've got a lot of popular Kelly Moore colors, but every popular Sherwin-Williams color combination, I have multiple videos of that. What does that mean? Let's say you want to see what the color Nomadic Desert looks like. That's Sherwin-Williams, Nomadic Desert. Well, let's see. What does it look like with pure white on all the trim and ceilings? I've got those videos. What does Nomadic Desert look like with alabaster on all the trim and ceilings? They're both whites, pure white. Alabaster's a white. Alabaster just has a slight beige tinge to it, so it takes the sharpness off, so it's just not quite as bright on the eye. So I usually recommend alabaster. It just depends on the environment and things, but Usually on exteriors, if someone wants white, we're using pure white. I've got a question here. Is this a question? Let's see. I'm still watching. Thank you for watching. Let me go here. See, it's so important. I changed my whole format. Still watching for the Merlot. Did I miss it? Thank you, Orange. You know, I've definitely responded to your messages lately, so you've been in my thoughts. Orange Claw Hammer 777. Who are you? Say hi, because I really don't know who you are, like if you're my neighbor or someone that I know. But yeah, man, life is not perfect. Let me start there with the Merlot. Back to the live chat. Right now, the news is, the expectation, why I need to get to bed, is that I will be at this building at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Tuesday, and we are spraying Merlot. So I fully expect that within 3 days I can get all the Merlot done, and this is the week. So pay attention. I'm from California. Well, I appreciate your handle there. And so that's where we're at, is me and Jerry. Everybody who's watched any of my videos, you can see Jerry in all my videos back 20 years, or as long as this channel's been. Because Jerry and I go back a long way, and he's always been very good to me. And I guess, you know, maybe we're both getting a little older and a little more, you know, it's not been easy. It's really a bad economy and really rough. And I thought it was going to be a little easier, but no. And I guess property taxes, and then now gas. I mean, oh God. And so the way that everybody is, you know, preparing now for what's going to happen. But either way, it's not my excuse. It's just where we're at. And so I have talked to Jerry today, and you know, he better be there at 7 o'clock in the morning to help me. So as long as he can help me the next 3 days, we can get the awnings done, guaranteed, in 3 days. So I just need his help. Like, I can't use anyone else's help. No one else knows how to paint like me but Jerry. We're, you know, the two best. I mean, it just doesn't get better. So anyway, I need his help. With his help, I can get them done in 3 days. So send the good vibes, brother, that Thursday we should have all the Merlot done. And then from there, I'm not concerned, because I can do all the rest of the painting myself. It'll take me over a week, over 5 working days, but I can get all the rest of the painting done myself. So I am not, I just got to get these freaking awnings done. And believe it or not, I'm very, very excited about it. So thank you for bringing it up and giving me an opportunity. And so with that, like I said, I'm probably going to delete this video anyway, so it won't matter. But if anyone is paying attention, tune in all week, as I will be uploading videos, as I always do, of every one of my jobs. And we'll be uploading the shorts. Thank you, everybody, for watching the shorts. That short thing is crazy. For the record, all of my videos are monetized. So this channel is monetized. I don't make that much, but I can push it. Like, I can make this channel work with this live Q&A consultation, especially once I get my computer monitor set up and everything. So that's a big part of getting this job finished, and then I have another job scheduled. So if anybody's concerned about scheduling, I want to answer you if you're watching before I delete this video. I'll be available within a few weeks, because I do have another job, thankfully, in Arlington, and it's another building. It's a commercial building, but it's a much smaller one, and it's a job that me and Jerry together can knock out in a few days. If he, for whatever reason, isn't available, that's okay, because it's a job that I can knock out myself in 2 weeks, because I don't have a full 5-day work schedule. I keep my grandson Thursday through Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days, 6 days for sure, I can finish that building by myself. So by then, with the Midlothian job and this other job, I should be able to afford my computer to set everything up the way that I want, because I absolutely 100% believe that I have to stay ahead of the curve, that's what I do, and that's what this is. And the way to take advantage of the opportunities that are greatest to me right now today is to go live with a live Q&A professional house painting consultation. And then from there, try to grow it where I bring in other, like my plumber, the Arlington plumbing surgeon, Willie. And everybody, like I know every business in man. I mean, I've been part of what I do is network. So I've been networking with different businesses this whole 22 years that I've been in business. And actually prior to that, because the way I got into house painting, other than my art, was I'm a businessman. I was #1 in sales in multiple jobs that I had, and always had the rug pulled out from under me, and always knew that I just had to do it, be in control of my own labor. And in time, investment of time, because that's all I've ever had is time to invest in labor. So, that's it. Just to next level to where I can present myself to my prospective customers, where they'll be happier to pay the services, pay the cost that I have to charge. Like I only charge to paint rooms. I charge $400 to paint the walls, $200 to paint the ceiling, $200 to paint the trim. So it's $800 to paint the average room. Then you have doors. I charge $500. So you have 2 doors in an average room. So it's $900 is where you're at. That's what I've been charging for 10 years, at least 10 years. I'll promise you, call Southern Painting, call Certa Pro Painting. They're all charging more than that. I'll promise you. Well, that's what I charge, but that's what I have to have. And I can't have a discount. So I'm not going to raise my price like Kroger's and go, hey, our Bluebell is now $8 a gallon. But with your phone app discount, it's $3.69. I'm not doing that. I don't have time for all that baloney. I admit I did have discounts earlier in my whole, but I used to run 3 and 4 crews myself up till 2008. I used to have multiple sales managers. We covered the entire Dallas-Fort Worth area. Rest in peace, Sonny Gaona. Anybody who ever met him and he painted your home for Christian Painters. Yeah, he passed away a couple of years ago too. And he's just another person that was so close to me. And it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy few years. So rest in peace, Sonny Gaona. We used to cover the entire Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I had 4 sales managers for at least 5 or 6 years. And I took a lot of crap from those sales managers too, like where I always had to make sure all the jobs got done correctly. And so it just cost me a lot of money to do it that way. But we did it, and we kicked a lot of rear end for a lot of years, and then the economy changed, and my children moved out, and I learned the music. So what I have to do and what I know will work, I'm 100% convinced, is doing these live formats. So the main reason I'm doing this one here now is because I tested it earlier, and I had a horrible audio. So I was like, man, I got to hop back on there and check this audio. But I've been rambling on. If anybody needs a professional painter, thank you very much. You know who to call, Christian Painters, 817-473-0310. And if you want to make sure that you get all of our videos, please subscribe. Please, that'll help me a bunch. And, ring that bell and set your reminders when I set live videos and things like that, because I don't have anything else. I have music, so I'm doing music, and I'm kind of doing this whole thing with music, but it's at the same small stage, right? But this is where I pay my bills, and so this has to be my first focus, and so I really fully expect to take advantage of the opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have my consultation, my professional advice in your living room on your television is out of this world and I'm not going to let it by. It definitely reminds me of the very beginning of the internet. Yes, the very beginning, boys and girls. My very first experience with the internet was such. I was at church and my friend's like sleepy. And I'm like, hey man, wake up. How you doing? What's up, bro? And he's like, oh, I was up all night, talking to my friend in Germany, on the computer. I'm like, you were doing what? I was talking to my friends in Germany on the computer. You can do that on the computer? How do you do that? And so back then you had to get a local provider or AOL, but most people did not go AOL, believe it or not. Most people just went to a local provider is what they were at the time, and they don't exist anymore. And at the time it was ease.net here in Dallas-Fort Worth, EAZE, ease.net. And so I went down and paid for my internet service, and boom, I was online the next day because I had a computer. I just had never been online and didn't know what the heck it was. So back then, the primary thing that you could do is go to chats and go to chat groups and talk to people and stuff. You could also go to, I just talked about playhere.com. Jason Birch, playhere.com. He set up a website and linked all the cameras, live cameras, so you could go watch live cameras on Daytona Beach or live cameras in New York City. And he linked to video games and things like that. And because the internet was entirely novel when it first started. And so everybody went to his website. The first year he started selling Beanie Babies because he had so much traffic. And that was his intention, was to sell these things and drive the traffic there. So it worked. And him and his brother Greg literally profited over $1 million their first year in business. It was like the year 2000 or something. But the second year in business, they didn't make anything because there were 1,000,001 other people doing the exact same thing that they had done the first year. So there's a little internet, boys and girls. And I believe that's where we're at here in a way right now with YouTube. Right now is the time to take advantage of this technology of having live interactive videos on your television or on your telephone in your car or on your television in your living room. Now is the time. And I encourage anyone else who has an interest, has a desire or a need, and the wherewithal, now is the time. It's not too late. Get on there, do it now, because it probably will be too late within a couple of years. Couple of things, technology is going to change so much that I'm not sure a lot of us smaller guys would be able to keep up, even someone like me. So I think getting started is going to become ever more challenging each year that goes by. I don't think it's going to be made a whole lot easier. I think it's going to be made a little more challenging and difficult, more hoops you got to jump through. And, then you have all the regulations and rules and, all of that stuff. All right, well, thank you very much for watching another Christian Painters YouTube video all the way from California. Here's to 7 a.m. in Midlothian tomorrow morning. All the best to you and yours always.